Hey guys, welcome back to Quick Tips. It's been quite some time, but I suppose when better to learn Final Cut Pro than during a national lockdown. I'm not sure how severe it is where you guys are, but where I am, we cannot even buy alcohol and cigarettes at the moment. Although recently we've been allowed to go out and exercise just only between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. It seems our government believes the virus sleeps during those hours. But yeah, let me know what is the most severe rule where you guys are located, and let me know if you can figure out where I am sort of bunkered down in the comments down below, without using Google, of course. All right, let's get down to business. In Final Cut Pro, what we're going to do is go into textures and use the gradients. And we're going to just first change the colors to something that we want to use. We're going to use a purple against a blue. Seems to be my go-to gradient to use, and just position it somewhere. Maybe that's a little bit too intense, so I'll just move this purple one back here and the blue as well. Now we're going to use 2 copies of this, so I'm just going to right click and I cannot actually say copy there, so I'm just going to say Command C and Command V, and then I'm just going to put this on top of the other one. I'll delete this. Alright, cool. So we're going to bring in a title now, and you can use any of the default build-in, build-outs, but I just want to use one of the title collections, so I'm just going to go down here, and I'm genuinely just going to use the first one. Drag that on, and we're not going to change really any of the text settings. The only thing I might want to change though is to scale this up slightly, and maybe also just change the position, so I'll just do that over here. Alright, cool. So let's just see that it's got that animation in there. Now what I'm going to do is create a new compound clip. And the cool thing about creating a compound clip is that you can actually change this to anything, and I'll show you what I mean now. So let's just call that title. Okay, so this is important. You don't want to disable it by hitting V, because otherwise it's not going to work. What I do is just drop it down to the bottom of my timeline. Now I'm going to select the gradient, and I'm going to go over here, and let me go into all video and audio, and then just select image mask. So drop that onto the top gradient. So I'm going to select the top gradient, then go to effects and select the image mask, and I'm going to select the title right at the very beginning and click apply clip. So now you won't see it because it's exactly the same gradient, but what you actually could do, and this is when we can start to really stylize and make our own unique effects here. So check this out. If we move this, you can actually start to see it starting to appear very, very slightly. So if you want to create like a very slight title, you can see that it's going to animate there. Or you can even change the colors of the gradient. So if we change that blue to this color over here, and change this gradient setup so that it's a little bit closer. In fact, if you want to go out, you can even get these points, which are a lot easier to use than the numbers over here, because they actually go quite extreme very quickly. So you can see there's a lot more control with those points. So now if I fit it, you can see it's a bit vague, but I'm just going to go Command Z until I get back to having the straight same gradient. And we are going to go into stylize, because this is going to give us a whole lot of more options. So I'm going to just basically be using a few of them, but feel free to play around and find something that you works more uniquely to what you're trying to do. So I'm going to select the drop shadow and then just drop it on here. Now you can see it's already giving us sort of the effect, but it's a bit too far. I'm going to go in here, and what I want to do, I think, is it this one that I want to move around? No, this one, kind of cool, but that's not what we want to do. We just want to put it placed right behind, just like that. And now we can actually blur it a lot more or less, again depending on what you want to do. You can also just raise the opacity if you want it to be a bit more intense, and you can also layer on these effects. So if you want to have a second drop shadow, you can do that. So that's the first one, this is the second one, and just move this back up there. So here we could actually make this like another color, maybe like purple. That's looking quite nice. So I can actually blur that a little less, maybe. So there you go, that's the basics of it. Looking pretty cool. And then obviously it'll animate out at the end here. Now what I mentioned about the title, the cool thing is now you can go in here, I can just disable this and then bring in another title. So let's just say I wanted to use this one, so I'll just push that in, drag it out, and then go back into my previous timeline, and there you go, it's updated straight away. Looking pretty cool. So yeah, like I mentioned, mess around with these stylized effects because there's some really cool ones. So let's go to select the top gradient. I'm going to just disable the two top drop shadows. And now we're going back to normal here. And then let's say, for instance, we wanted to try raster maybe. So there you go. That's also pretty cool. It's also not too intense of an effect, and you can make completely new titles using any combination of these effects. So they've got what was it, raster. Let's say if I want to use bad TV on top of that, now I've got a sort of glitch title, or just using an original title from the titles collection. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. I've got a few more ideas I would love to share with you. Till then, keep safe.